Wrestle Magic Pod, official sponsors of British Empire Wrestling.
All right, everybody. Tonight's episode of Wrestle Magic, we are having another interview with Pope, Mr. Elijah Burke. And man, I'm so excited to be finally having this second part with Mr. Burke. Honestly, the last time was so much fun, and we were just vibing and going back and forth and just having the best time. And I really appreciate it and really felt like I connected with Pope here. So, Mr. Burke, how you doing, man? What's going on in your life right now?
Doing good. I'm blessed by the best, if I could say that. And life is life, and life is life for a lot of people right now. Thoughts have been with the multitude of individuals across the land, whether that's, the shutdown, the struggles that are going on with that, over here in the States, of course, whether it's for any other reason, sickness, illnesses, deaths. My heart has been with a lot of people, people that I know, people who I don't know. But again, I myself at this very point in time, I'm blessed.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, you and I are in a good position right now. I feel we're not struggling at the moment like many others are, and I'm just happy to be where I am as well.
Yeah, just happy to be above ground right now. Anytime you're above ground, it's a blessed day. And I don't know if you know about it, but in my second home, if you will, home away from home, I should say, up in Louisville, there was a major plane crash. A UPS plane had crashed. And I just want to share this because for someone who maybe listen and watch, and I always like to tell people never take a day for granted. Use each day, cherish it as a blessing, as a gift, which is why it's called the present. An individual got on his job, his duty, that he's flown, that he's done, a number of times before. And it's just another day at the office. Honey, I'm going to Hawaii. I'll be back and see you in 2 days or whatever. And that 2 days never came. I think it's very important for us to always be cognizant of the fact that we're just here for a moment in time. And it's what you do with your moment in time that is going to truly be the difference maker of the purpose that you had here on this earth. So so my thoughts again are with all those people in that airplane issue, people that are traveling, having issues, already prepared for Thanksgiving, and the list goes on.
Absolutely. It's tragic what happened up in Louisville. And my uncle, some of the listeners may know him as the gardener. When he comes on, he was about 5 miles away from the crash. And he said that he could see smoke still where he was at. And for hours, he was getting updates that there was still a fire burning and just how horrible it was. And
280,000, gallons of jet fuel, from my understanding, that was supposed to take him 8 hours to Hawaii. So it took a long time for that thing to burn, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, it's tragic and horrible, and everything with the government shutdown. We don't want to talk too much politics here and bring everybody down. But
we got to be first. Got to talk real. We can go ahead and transition at any moment, which I assume that moment will be now. So
absolutely. So, guys, go ahead, sit back, relax, and, let's forget about the struggles for a moment. But thoughts and prayers to everybody out there that's struggling at the moment, and definitely take life one day at a time and just enjoy what you've got. Because once again, it is a present every day. So along with that, Mr. Burke, you already mentioned Thanksgiving. I was going to ask, so it's coming up. What are you going to be doing this year?
We'll be doing the same thing I've done for the last 5 years, 6 years. That'll be going to the streets, taking to the streets, and blessing, folk. Look, when it gets down to under 60 degrees here in Jacksonville, it's cold. That's freezing. It's like near freezing for Jacksonville. It drops under 50. We're in a state of emergency. But I'll be on the streets, spending my entire sunrise, sundown, blessing others who don't have a table to gather around, who have no roof over their head. I'll be blessing them. I'll have some Wawa, hopefully Wawa coffee. give me a lot of those jugs and have plenty of hot, meat, whatever type of meal I have with me. Sometimes I use Wawa's meals, sandwiches. And I take to the street. I have some pastries as well and some water. And at the back of my truck, I'll be serving every homeless person I see.
It's incredible. It's a great thing to be doing on Thanksgiving and absolutely just giving back to the community. And something else that I wanted to ask about, is there any way that, do you guys take any kind of volunteers for Love Alive during that time to maybe help out, or?
We take volunteers throughout the entirety of the year. We just want volunteers who are invested in such a way that we know they're invested, because when we look at the donation tally and toll, we see their name on it. So I always have a saying is that if you're donating and you're a part of this, I want you to be a part of seeing where your money goes. If you've contributed to the cause, from a sincere level. Many people want to come out and do the work. Nobody, everybody want to be a part of doing something successful. They just don't want to be a part of the process. Everybody want to participate. Part of the process. So I encourage people, hey, donate. Don't, I get it that it makes a lot of people feel good to say, oh yeah, I did this and I did that. But what did you really do? What happened to the $5 that you could have donated that you used on a lottery ticket? And you said, I'm going to take my chances with that. And you never got no ROI, return on your investment. So we have a lot of people that, gosh, I could use my own family if that was the case. Hey, yeah, y'all can come on, but I just don't let people do that. If your name is not in our electronic book that says you are a donator, a multiple donator and contributor, someone that gives, then we try to keep those people away and make room for people, because we only need so many hands, right? In that regard. Now, when we do our big love drive, which will come up in January, that's when we set up downtown with the tables and the coffee and, maybe a football or something out there to keep them company while the food has been prepared at McDonald's. And we got clothes and shoes and hygiene products, and the list goes on. Then I could use extra hands. But even then, I got people that come in from North Carolina, come all the way in from Georgia, Texas, Tampa, Miami, and they're Baltimore, and they fly in on their own accord to be a part of something that they are a part of year round. Those are my people. So, yeah, but to answer that question, I think I did. We do accept. And hey, man, if you ain't got no money that you feel like you want to donate, you can donate clothes, you can donate shoes, you can donate whatever. Go to the Love Alive Charities website, love-alive.org, and click on donate and find out how. It explains it to you. Heck, I'll come pick it up if I have to. We're just trying to bless other people while we're able to.
Oh, absolutely. And some people just need it. You never know the timing. And I mean, right now is a perfect example, everything being shut down and everything. And it is what it is. We can't really help that level, but we can help on the level that we're already at.
Yeah, I just last night, on my way from the gym, I had fixed a bag with, just threw it together. I had like 5 of those packets. 5 of those tuna packets that you could open and just eat straight. I had about 5 of those. I had 2 things with pretzels. Had a handful of Oreo cookies. I had some salsa that was halfway full. And I had some tortilla chips. And I just put it on the bag and, gave it to a guy sitting in the cold in front of a gas station. Say, hey, man, could you use this? Yeah, I can. I said, I don't have any water. Do you drink water? He's like, don't worry about it. This is good. He goes right beside the gas station, sits down, and he goes to town. So even the stuff that some people will take and throw away can be better used by blessing somebody else. You may not look at it as a blessing, but it can certainly bless somebody who don't have the luxury of saying, I don't want this anymore. I throw it away. Remember, I told you that's how my charity started in the parking lot. Somebody ate half what they ate. I don't want it anymore. Threw it away. And so Yeah, so be mindful of that.
It all started from there. And it's amazing how far that it's come. And I've very much I really appreciate what you've been doing with your charity and the message that you want to push across. Just let's help people. There's nothing wrong with, just giving food to those who need it.
Just because, not because of a government shutdown, which obviously now will be a time for, publicity. I hate to call them stunts, but it's still more of a time now for individuals, football players, and those that makes millions of dollars to step forward and say, yeah, we're doing this love drive, food drive, whatever. Now's the time because of the publicity that's going to come behind it, for the coverages. But you're talking to somebody who does it on a regular basis. Following our last event, the charity's last event show was called Revelation. That should be aired on Triller here very, very soon. So we're getting everything ready. So we put that on Triller. And the next day, we're out serving the community. Not the next day. That was Saturday. Monday, we're out downtown and we're serving the community. We're serving the homeless. We're serving the shelter. Protein packets, and snacks and water. Like, we're doing it. We take what we can get. We use the funds that we raise from these events, which we only do 4 per year. And that is why we started doing it, because if I did it myself, if I had to continue to do it myself, then you'll be on here telling folk, hey guys, don't forget about Elijah Burke's GoFundMe. He really could use your help, So I need your help now, so that's what it's.
Very fair. Well, so how was that show, by the way, that you had just mentioned, Revelation?
Revelation was a great success. Due to all the hardworking individuals behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. We a lot of people know, and again, I don't mean to bring a damper. I had the international superstar Jay Della Grace, whatever he calls himself now, Jay Rios. Many people don't know this, but he lost his daughter a couple of months ago. 18-year-old daughter to gun violence. And Jay Rio is someone who is, I've had nothing but a great relationship with, professionally and personally. I love him. I see how he is with his young son, and I've spent a lot of time through the years having deep talks and discussions with Jay Rios, and he was unable to attend. He was, when you're grieving, grieve, and can't nobody tell you how long to grieve and how you should grieve. But that was his only daughter. He called her his twin. And one minute you're taking your daughter, to prom and seeing her graduate, whatever the case, and the next minute you got to put her in the casket. That's horrible. So our thoughts and our prayers, and we said that at the show. For Jay Rios. But then, we had some great elements and great surprises in store. We had the former Velveteen Dream. Patrick Clark was on hand. He didn't get that match that he was looking for due to the fact that Jay Rios was not on the hand. And I tell you what, though, man, there was a kid by the name of Brian Huff who stepped up to the challenge. And when I say he set Duval on fire, once the match was over with, Pope had to go in the ring and get ready to close down the show. But everybody, and the mama and grandmama, especially on the front row, I call her Mama Frida, she was saying, bring him back. Everybody just started saying, bring him back. And that's a great testament to the kid Brian Huff, a great testament to Patrick Clark, how they were able to go out there and get this seemingly no one over, who no one knew, to create a contest, carry it out in such a way that the people that were there became so invested that once it was said and done, they believed he could beat Patrick Clark. He didn't, but they want to see more of this guy. They want him back. And so, yeah, Brian Huff, the sensational one. Kudos to that kid, man. We had the first viewing of Mass Destruction, two 400-pound tag team partners called Mass Destruction, which every ring hates to see them come. I can tell you that much. Yeah, so it was great. We always have the Russell Twins, our LAC tag team champions on hand. Isaiah Zane, New Nation of All Caribbean Wrestling. So it was a success. It was our second time running the Revelation event since its inception in 2024, and this one. We just continue to look building. It's October, it's Halloween, just a week before Halloween, but we were really surprised and encouraged by the turnout. And we look forward to our next one coming up in January, which is normally our biggest event called Duval Brawl. And that is going to see for the first time ever a match that we never thought we'd see. And that's going to be the one. That's going to be the one. That's Velveteen Dream, the former, if you will. The Dream. Patrick Clark, 1-on-1 against the Pope for the LA Championship. Match we never thought we'd see is happening at the biggest event in Jacksonville, Duval Brawl.
I like that. And I really like the name of that, too, the Duval Brawl. That's really cool, man.
It was something organically that happened, and again, it's been our signature event. I don't like to use that terminology often, but it is because at one point we were only doing one event a year. Before I moved into two, one in the beginning of the year and one in the middle of the year, and then we just kind of morphed into, I'm going to do the whole 4, how we used to do back in the day, every quarter, every 3 months, we'll do 4 of them. And so that's what we've been doing. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be fortunate enough to hook up with someone who got the time and maybe want to invest, and we can go ahead and find a building and open up a school and run regularly. So we'll see how that goes, but that's certainly something I want to do in the future.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. And I've been wondering this whole time. So you said that the event's going to be on Triller. Do you know how much it's going to be costing?
It should be around about $10. So it's 10 or $12. It shouldn't be no less than that. But I have to wait till everything is finalized with Triller. But it's definitely going to be affordable for every household to watch it and enjoy it. So that should be on Triller. Probably before this month is out. It should be before this month is out.
Okay, sounds great. I definitely look forward to seeing it. And something that I've been kind of wondering since the last time that we spoke, and I don't believe I got to ask you about. So I have read and heard that the wrestler JTG is like a, godson or something to that effect in relation to you. Is that true?
Well, JTG is my god brother.
Okay.
His mom, mommy, as I call her, was my godmother, and me and JTG, we spent a lot of time together on this journey into the world and the realm of professional wrestling, and it is much so that I had to somewhat become his babysitter. When he first started coming to Louisville, when we were training for Ohio Valley Wrestling, what I love about JTG's drive, determination, and his effort, specifically during that time, is that he proved that he was a go-getter. He knew that I was there, and he was like, I'm coming, to start my own thing. I want to make it. So JTG would catch a Greyhound bus from Brooklyn to Louisville every Friday. Every Friday, he would catch a bus, a Greyhound from Brooklyn, just to get to Louisville, get in, train, which I would go pick him up from the Greyhound station. You know, sometimes he would get in on a Friday. Sometimes he would leave early, late, and get in on Saturday morning. If it's Saturday morning, I pick him up straight from the bus station, and we go trade. Get in on Friday, we would come to Pope's crib, you know, at my apartment that I had there, and, you know, he would sleep on my couch, you know, and eat my food and whatever, you know. I have to look out for him. That was my brother and is my brother. And so that was something that he did until finally he was able to pick up and move to Louisville on his own accord, and finally got established. And, you know, the rest is pretty much history. Got that contract and everything else. Now, before all that happened, and before the contract happened, as you know, somebody else came into the mix, and his name was Shad Gaspar. This guy right behind me here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but his name was Shad Gaspar, a.k.a. Beast. Beast had already been in the mix. Beast was the first one of us, if you will, that was there in OVW. So naturally, when, you know, this, at the time, younger black brother come walking through the door, you know, Beast immediately, hey, go put your stuff down. Yo, what's up, man? You, you know, yeah, go put your stuff down, man. Come find me, you and me, you know. And Beast immediately went into that bear-like mode of, or that lion mode, like, okay, you're part of my tribe. I don't know where you come from, but you're here. You're with me. That was kind of Beast's mindset, and sometimes I had to remind Beast, like, hey, I'm the older brother. You may be in here. I'm the older brother, okay? I'm the officer. You ain't finna talk to me like this, that, the other. I don't deal with that type of stuff, you know? So as soon as JTG moved down to Louisville and they became more of a regular, I was like, peace, here you go, here's JTG. And that's kind of how Crime Time became. You know, that's before they became Crime Time, they became friends, because they had more in common. Both were on the living life on the fun side. So they had a lot more in common than somebody who had just been in law enforcement for 5 years and kind of like, yeah, that ain't up my alley. Yeah.
Hey, man, that's fair. And I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I was never into partying. It's, you know, just not my thing. And, you know, I've been the DD for everybody for years. That's just how it is. I don't want to be the one who's in a bar and ending up in a fight. I want to be the guy that's making sure everybody gets home safe after.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be the one to tell you that, hey, don't forget that this could be your last time going on. And wherever you're going, so be safe. That's the guy. I'm not coming with you, but I'm just saying, you know. And there was always something popping off on Friday or Saturday night, you know, down in Louisville. There's always something, always fights, and always this and that. It's like, bro, I don't want to be a part of it. But y'all be careful. You know, they had a hard time just getting Pope to go out to eat. You know, I'm going to get something to eat. You can do that, or is that against your belief too? It's like, it's not against my belief, but it might be against my pockets at the moment. I got me a $2 Stouffer's in my refrigerator. I could just go throw it in the microwave. I'm good. I got my Stouffer's dinner, you know, whatever. But anyway, a lot of rice, a lot of tuna fish during those times. Dry white rice, take your can of tuna, dump it on top, put you some mustard, some black pepper if you like black pepper like I do. That was my meal for a lot of days when I, you know, working for that WWE contract for OVW development.
Hey, man, I hear that. I grew up eating a lot of ramen and stuff, so I feel you. It's the struggle meal sometimes, what you got to do to get by.
You know, we all had those ramens back in the day, man. And I hear a lot of people talk about them. And to me, Mav, it's like, it just really wasn't a thing. I mean, it was all right, especially when you drowned it with hot sauce. Got to put hot sauce in it. But it never really was that thing for me. It is much so that when you're a kid and you're growing and you're saying, man, one day when I get this, Monday I'm gonna get this. I'm about all of this. I'm about all of that. And so I was thinking the same thing about Cookie Crisp. Oh my gosh, you just wait, man. I am, but I just, trying to be cognizant of what's going in these days. I just don't eat cereal like I used to because cereal is my weakness. I can sit in bed, cut on Family Guy, American Dad, whatever. Take your pick. If it's a real long night, Rick and Morty, but I can dump a whole box of Frosted Flakes and eat it in no time. I'm talking about a whole box. It's ridiculous. 32 ounce. It's ridiculous. So I had to really stop. But when I think about the young days, it's like, man, when I get my own money, I'm do this, I'm do that. One of the first things I did was brought Cookie Crisp. That's what it was called, Cookie Crisp.
Yeah.
Cookie Crisp cereal. And I remember being so excited because when I was a kid, we didn't have the chance to have those name brands like that. We just didn't. As I shared the story the last time we spoke, Mom left $5 on the counter for me to go to the store, get some cereal and milk. And that's when I stepped over the guy begging for change. And I gave him a quarter. And I'm like 8, 9 years old, maybe 10. So I remember one day I was with my mom shopping. I asked her, hey, Mom, can we get Cookie Crisp? And Cookie Crisp always came in a small box. They were never like big back in that time, man. And they were so expensive compared to everything else. We would just have to get the corn flakes. I ain't saying Frosted Flakes, corn flakes, but we had to dump all that sugar in. So when you get done eating, the sugar's at the bottom of the bowl with the milk and you mixing it. Just horrible. Or King Vitamins. King Vitamins was something that was a staple at my grandmother's house too, because she got the King Vitamins and all that stuff for free at the time due to the assistance program. And then my grandma also had that powdered milk. So if you have no milk, don't worry about it. I got this powder. Ooh, I wish the kid would today have to use that powdered milk. But anyways, man, I ended up getting the Cocoa Crisp. Cookie Crisp. Yeah. Ooh, Cookie Crisp. I ended up getting the Cookie Crisp and as an adult, and I was preparing myself like, oh my gosh, this is about to be the greatest ever. And I put that, this is when I was in that apartment that I was just telling you about with JTG. So I put that Cookie Crisp in my mouth, man. I started eating and I went, and I just spat it all out. I was so disgusted. I was so upset. I waited decades for this moment. Decades! To say I'm going to get my... Bruh, I never ate them. They didn't taste the same. Like most things when you're youngin', right? It did not taste the same, and I was thoroughly disappointed. I never ate Cookie Crisp again, ever.
I feel that, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
That's back into my Frosted Flakes. The reason I fell back to Frosted Flakes was that out of all the cereals that come and go, the different types of variations or iterations that they use, one thing that is you can count on, still tasting the same for the most part, is going to be Frosted Flakes. They're across the board. You might eat something else and go, man, these don't Cocoa Puffs. They just disintegrate as soon as you bite them. Yep. I don't remember. So it's like, they're just not the same. They're not the same, but certain ones, they still give you that same type of memory that you desire. So I'm, let's talk about cereal. Anytime I used to talk back in the past, it was always about cereal. But I am Frosted Flakes guy. In my later years, I became fond of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I never would in the past, but it's like, okay, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, all right. But my number two would be, I love Raisin Nut Bran by Post. I love Raisin Nut Bran. And yeah. And if I have to go chocolate, it's Cocoa Pebbles or Cocoa Krispies. But those are my like 3 to 4 cereals that with Frosted Flakes my only go-to. It'll keep me.
I feel that. I'm a Frosted Flakes guy too, but I also like Golden Grahams. I don't know why. I just remember as a kid I saw it once.
Used to Golden Graham. See what you did? Golden Graham was my favorite in school. Because, you know, we got there and you got the little thing, you tear it off and you dump it, or don't dump it, you pour your milk in. Let me tell you, Golden Graham hit like amazing. But now you better not put your Golden Grahams in a bowl and dump milk on it. You're going to get 1 or 2 crunches before the rest goes soggy. That's the problem. It's just not like it used to be. Like they used to stay crunchy, and now it's like, bruh. So you gotta put the milk in the bowl and just dump a couple of that on top of the milk and eat it, and then continue to pour so you can keep it all crisp, if you will. Golden Grahams, they don't hit like they used to though.
Yeah, I feel that. And I remember I was in school when I first tried them because I had never seen them before. And then I remember I eventually tried them with chocolate milk instead. And I was like, this is just different. And I was like going ham on them for days.
Just like with Fruit Loops, man. That was my thing in school too. Fruit Loops, Lucky Charm, all of them, but they just don't hit the same. I don't know what it is, but I guess because we're able to differentiate, with the taste buds as we get older, we lack a certain symmetry. You know, we want the taste, the crunch, the feel. We take all of that and bring it together to judge now, not just, taste. If one thing's off, we notice it more than we would as a kid.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you mentioned Cookie Crisp. I remember growing up, I don't know what it was. Like, I liked it, but at the same time, it would always cut up the roof of my mouth. Same thing with Cocoa Puffs. What was that about?
That was not King Vitamin. You said Cocoa Puffs. You mean Captain Crunch. That was Captain Crunch for us.
That too. But yeah.
Crunch would tear the roof of your mouth. And it's like, what do you mean? Slow down eating. Hey, you're supposed to eat like this. You understand? But that Captain Crunch. And again, maybe that's why they're not what they once were, because even Captain Crunch, and I have the chocolatey berry crunch. I have a box with me right now. They stopped selling those things. It was limited time only, but I got a box with me right now. And let me tell you something. Those chocolatey berry Captain Crunch cereal are absolutely probably my favorite New Day type cereal that they've come up with in recent times. So, maybe they'll bring it back out. They only did it for a limited time, but it was fire. Like, I brought whole cases of them. I was in Target. I was like, y'all got some more in the back? It's like, yeah, I found a whole case. Give it to me. How many you want? The case. Give it to me. So I've had a whole case of Captain Crunch. Chocolatey berry, limited edition. Look it up, guys. I'm telling you, it was something.
That's awesome, man. And it's cool to hear that you and Shad and JTG got along that well back then, but you were kind of the babysitter having your experience in law enforcement. And I don't believe I got to ask you last time either about your experience in law enforcement. What were some lessons that you learned after being on that side of, law enforcement and just being a part of it?
I think one of the big things that I learned about that side is that law sees no individual. Law sees no single individual differently than the next individual that is beside them, behind them, or in front of them when they're being booked into their facility. Law, I learned that, and this is what I mean, so that if you're watching, you can be like, oh, wait a minute, there's injustices. Oh, I'm sure there is. Listen to me. What I mean is, what you may categorically place one person or a group of people or individuals into, when it comes to law enforcement, it'll flip your mind, because the person that you think or that you would stereotype as to be someone doing this, the person that's being booked for it right now, the person that just got arrested, did it and looks nothing like the person that you said will be the one to do something like that crime. You've seen the most, in law enforcement, you've seen the most upright looking individuals, the most professional individual, the most frail individuals, the most, the bottom of the barrel individual. And you've seen them all. And yet, when you put all of them together, many of them has committed crimes and done things that you would go, there's no way that that person did that. That is crazy. So what I learned from law enforcement is to just judge each man according to their own merit, according to what is put out before you, according to what you see, according to what you witness, because you just can't see somebody and assume. I've been on that side as well, where here comes trouble. It's like, how are you just going to assume that it's trouble? Is it something about the way the guy looks? I just don't have a good feeling. Well, that's wrong. So that's what law enforcement taught me in that regard. And it always taught me as well to keep my guard up, not hand on the trigger, but keep my guard up. Truly, that Stone Cold slogan, DTA, was something that, certainly as a wrestling fan, well, I'm an officer at the time too. Yeah, I ain't trusting nobody. Not even most around me that wasn't locked up. So yeah,
yeah, that's valid. I mean, you got to treat everybody as everybody's different from one another. You can't look at one person and what they've done and just immediately put somebody else in the same place. It's not right for any reason.
Right. And there's people, it's life, and life is going to life. Unfortunately, there's people that are forgotten, made simple mistakes, missed a court, had a court appearance that they forgot about. Judge issues a bench warrant for them. You got to go pick them up. It's like, I didn't know I forgot, or I didn't know, or I didn't get my letter. Yeah, you had a court. The judge issues a bench warrant. The judge, after they're reading in court, says, well, they didn't show, here's a warrant for them, bring them in. And so now you got a nice, grandma that had a speeding ticket or didn't come to a complete stop at a stop sign, a minor $80 citation, forgot to pay it. Here's a bench warrant that's issued for arrest. So now when this lady comes down the town and you got to bring her into jail, hey, when she puts on a red suit, an orange suit, a green suit, like everybody else in there, and when they're lined up, guess what? Everybody's a criminal. Don't matter how great, how small, they're going to the same place, the same holding area, the same dorm, and they're going to eat off the same, God forbid, those plastic trays that they stack on top of it. I'm telling you, I learned, man. I seen a lot. I learned I saw a world from a different perspective. Climbing under a house for a missing person, and seeing a body that's been under a house and decomposing. And it's like, I've seen some crazy stuff.
I believe you have, for sure. It's a tough job to be in for like anybody. I feel like seeing things like that and hearing some of the things that they have to deal with, it's mind-boggling sometimes, the mental toll has to go into going into any kind of a job like that.
Yeah. There was a time when I was in the jail, working in the jail, where individual was on the second tier of the dormitory, and where he wanted to get some attention, I suppose. So he jumped. He jumped from the second tier. You know, there's a downstairs, then we got dorms upstairs, not too far up, but he jumped. And I think he tried to land on one of the chow tables, which is a metal table that you eat on. And when he landed, I heard this, of course he started screaming, and I had made everybody go to their room or to their cells, shut everybody screaming, "Oh man, oh that's crazy, that's messed up, oh man." Everybody goes in, some people call him stupid, and I go over there and I'm looking at the guy, and his bone on his ankle is just saying hello.
Oh jeez.
And he's Officer Burke, help Officer Burke. I said, well, you wanted my attention, now you got it. Now you're just gonna have to wait till they get here. You take us now. I got to deal with all this because I'm the officer on scene. I got to, we hate doing these long write-ups and stuff because they got to be so perfect. If anything's missed, your sergeant kicks it back, and then when your sergeant approves it, it goes up the chain of command to the lieutenant. They read it, make sure all the bases are covered. So, yeah, he did that, and talking about he wanted to kill himself, but it was an attention-seeking moment, probably a moment for him to get out. We don't know what he was going through. That's my point. You don't know what people are going through. Maybe he was being bullied in there. Maybe that was his way of getting away and into a hospital. A lot of people like to be placed in something that we call suicide, in the jail at least, so because you by yourself, you don't have any anyone in the room with you. But anyways, yeah, I saw some crazy stuff, and that was one I couldn't touch. It wasn't no tunic or anything you could do. Just wait till the paramedics get here, and you just stay with me, okay, buddy? Oh, it hurts. But what do you expect?
What was I supposed to do? Like, now I got to wait for an adultier adult to help out now because I can't do this. I'm not adulty enough for this one. But yeah, I hear that for sure. And there's been a million horrible things that I've heard about similar to that. I've had friends who are corrections officers and such. They've all been through that. And I remember a friend of mine actually coming back from the academy after he got pepper sprayed and everything. And he was on his clothes. And it was like, oh, God, we could all feel it. As soon as he walked in, he's like, yeah, they hit us with a pepper ball gun just so we understood how it felt before ever using it on anybody. It's that sort of thing that's like kind of opens your eyes. But anyways, so something that I was wondering about with you being a police officer, did that at all affect you and wanting to create Love Alive? Did that also add into everything, just everything that you had witnessed and saw?
Well, yeah, that played a part in to think about it. Some of the people that were coming to jail, and especially when you're brought to jail and you don't have the due process accordingly to where, you're able to get out the next day on your, ROR, sign out on your own recognizance or whatever they call it, and you're able to go about and take care of your business till your court comes. Some people are held. I mean, you're on your way home from work on a Thursday night at the end of the month, and you get pulled over for something, and then something on your record doesn't check out, and now all of a sudden, you're locked up on Thursday night. It's Friday. Friday is payday, and you're stuck in there. And now your first appearance has gotten pushed back till next week. But it's your payday. It's the end of the month, meaning the beginning of the month. Your bills are due. Your rent has to be paid. You have no family at home. It is you struggling to make it on your own. And now next week come and they push your court date back again. And so now everything that you have is falling into the wells of jeopardy because, hey, I don't have nobody who can take care of this. I don't have nobody who can, get my keys and go check on my cat, my dog, this or that. And now they push your court date back and we're into a whole nother month. Next thing you know, these people, their stuff is being put out on the street. And I got evicted while they're in jail. Car has been repossessed. And they lose everything they have only to say, time served. No, the judge has decided we're not going to bring a case against you. So we just going to call it time served. Like, what? So now this man who was just got on his feet trying to do the right thing, believing in the American way and the system in which it provides all of us the opportunity to be something, he was on his way to establishing himself, and now at the rise of it, his legs have been pulled from up under him. He's been knocked down to the ground. And while he's down there, he decides, man, why am I trying to do the things the right way? I was wrongly incarcerated. As a result, I lost my job. I lost my home. I have no family here. I have no friends. Why even bother? Now this person turns to drugs to cope as a coping mechanism. Now this person is living in a shelter, and then he's in a shelter, and he's not used to being in the shelter where there's other individuals in shelters, some who are dealing with mental issues and some who are just nasty. And now he gets in a confrontation there. And then, now, screw it, I'll just stay on the streets. And this is what I mean by, I know a young man whom I spoke to recently during one of our love drives. He's out on the street by choice. He don't want to stay home with his mom, his siblings, because his mom do drugs and she tried to accuse him. So, he'd rather be on the street. It's like, call your cousin, no, because they believe my mom. They don't want to hear what I'm trying to say, and my mom called the police on me, so I'm just not going back. And the dude is on the street, and this is how it starts for a lot of people. So I don't pass judgment. And when you talk about did law enforcement help me in that regard? Yes. It's just like I told you before. When everyone comes in, they put on a suit. They're all the same, but I judge each and every individual accordingly, and on a per basis. And so I think that helped me understand them more, because a lot of people that I dealt with, whether it was putting them in jail or when I was working in the jail, to this day, they're still on the street. Brother, we're talking 20 years ago, brother. They're still on the streets, or they're still living in the shelter. They have nowhere to go. Some have deteriorated to the worst. But hey, Officer Burke. Yeah, Officer Burke. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is a wrestler. They remember me from me telling them, go to your cell or lockdown. So it's a sad thing. So I just believe that it don't hurt nobody to be good. My thing is I've always placed myself in other people's shoes. Sometimes that can be hard to do, but it ain't hard to imagine the position. It ain't hard to imagine if that were you. That part ain't hard to imagine, because you know how you would feel if you had to be in a jumpsuit and told when to go to bed by a guy that's younger than you or a girl that's younger than you, telling you to get off the phone when that's your only, moment to speak with whoever it is. So anyways, it played a big part. It did help me. And I put a lot of the attributes from life itself, as well as my time in law enforcement. It all plays a part.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's definitely going to lay into, it opened your eyes to what you really weren't seeing before. And then finally, you decided, I need to do something about this once you found a way to do it, being Love Alive. And I'm really happy with the way that you decided this is what I need to do for people, because people just need it, man. And that's just life.
Yeah, and they're not asking you for they're not asking you for a platter, a golden platter. They're not asking you for no candles to be set. They just thank you for whatever it is you can do. When I tell you the people line up for hours when they know that we're finna serve the Burger King, McDonald's now, but it's just like 12 o'clock. They're not at 9 o'clock camped out. It's like everybody's going to eat, but they're camped out 9 o'clock. Just because they know that hot Burger King is about to come out amidst the other stuff that we're going to have. So it's just doing our part. I wish I could do a whole lot more, but again, I'm not government funded. Funded out of my pockets and the pocket of donors who decides, they feel like Love Life Charity is something worth contributing to. Guys like you, guys like my vice president, Nimai Jefferson, and the list goes on. I have so many people, the Russell twins out of New Orleans and Isaiah Zane, they contribute every month to the process because we have a way that you can set up to be a monthly donator. Barbara Garrison, Button, Mr. Button, and it's just so many because I can think of it off the top of my head so we're just appreciative. JB Cool with All Caribbean Wrestling. We're just so we're happy for what we have. We're just over 40 donations on the year. It is what it is. I always like to try to get to 100, but those who donate and who donate from a sincere place, it means the world to us. So we're just grateful for that. I speak on behalf of myself and my entire team because like I said, it can help. It helps. It just helps. Anything helps. Lighten the load. Your $1, can go towards that $3.49 burger cost. And I just want you to think about this, okay? Cheapest burger right now is like $3.50. Okay, so we got 200 people out there that we're gonna, feed. Sometimes more, a little less, give or take. Just think about it. Some we got to get chicken sandwiches for because not everybody eats burgers or whatnot. But you just do the math with that. 200 people and the cheapest burger. Not to include the rest of the stuff, the Scullies and the scarves and the blankets that we buy for the streets and the hygiene products for everybody, the feminine products for the women. It's something else. It's something else.
Definitely is. I mean, I remember when McDonald's was selling dollar menu stuff. Man, I miss that time.
I keep checking. It's like, bro, wait, y'all do something in the economy right now because I'm like, where are the dollar burgers? It'd be a great help if I can get that. But we were so fortunate for first 11 years, we were so fortunate that Burger King, there was a guy that he was the general manager, store manager, whatever. He would work with us, man, and they made sure they had some nice, nice sized burgers, double cheeseburgers, whatever. They made sure they would bring it out like in the video. If you ever want to see the video, go love-live.org. Scroll to the bottom. There's a picture of myself, Tyrus, Flying Brian, Red Velvet, and JTG. Just click on that, and you'll see what I talk about when I say the long line of people that's out there to get some clothes. Sometimes we've done 2 lines. Some people rather go for the clothes before they go for the food. They know they're going to eat. Everybody's going to eat. But some people are like, I need a jacket. I need some shoes. I got, my shoes got holes. I gave this one lady, I went to my car and I grabbed my snakeskin boots that I wore on Impact. And I said, these ain't your size, but she said, I'll take them. Old country girl. She said, I'll take them. And so she took those boots. I said, this is, I don't know where they are, what shape they might be in today, but so I love blessing people, man. I love being of assistance, not for my own glory, but to the glory of He who has allowed me to do what I do.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it worth it, honestly. And, you mentioned Impact, and, I do just want to ask, so how did you enjoy your time over at Impact Wrestling just before we do anything else,
Well, Impact Wrestling, I had 2 stints there. Obviously, I enjoyed my time. I will say, I can't say one time was better than the other, although I just really loved when me and Josh was doing commentary for those couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I just really enjoyed that. It was for a lot of reasons. One, it was less on me. I know I was getting a lot of, oh, what's wrong with Pope? Pope's retired. Pope's like, no, Pope's smart. Pope's making the same amount of money. Just sit down and talk. And I still get to get over because I'm talking. I'm still heard and seen more on that television product than I would if I just came out and did a 5-10 minute match. So that was great times for me. Experiencing that part, something that was a throwback to when Vince had me do it on ECW.
Yeah.
So it's like I was excited about that. I look forward to it. Plus, not having the headache of having to go out there and wrestle. So,
yeah, that's fair, man. I mean,
oh, what good? I ain't in no storylines. I ain't got to worry about this or not liking this or why are we doing this. I just go sit behind the desk, drink my coffee, drink my Red Bull. Too many coffees, too many Red Bulls. When this match is over with, buy me some time. Run into the back to use the restroom, come back out.
God, that's awesome. I mean, you were good on commentary. I actually liked hearing you during those Impact days.
Thank you, man. It was a blast, and I was just having fun. If you can't tell I was having fun, I don't know what fun looks like. There was no producing. There was no producing as far as say this, say that. What do you know? There was no, it was just have fun. And there were some times where I would get an egg or something in my ear. I remember one time, Abyss, here's a funny one for you. Abyss is going to come through the audience behind you. Pope, don't acknowledge it. Don't look. And so I'm looking straight ahead. And Abyss has come from behind and he's standing on Pope's right. And in my ear is John Gaborik. They call him Big John in WWE. Pope, don't look, don't acknowledge him, just keep calling the match. And all of a sudden, the match is like over with. And he's like, don't acknowledge Abyss. And Abyss is now getting in my face. And he's beside me like this, and he's doing this. And he's like, Pope, just keep, just talk about, call the replay. And I'm just looking ahead, and all of a sudden, I was like, come on, Pope, give me some more energy, And I'm just buying into this whole thing. And it was all a rib on Pope. It wasn't even airing. It was it was just a rib like towards the end of the night or the end of this particular show, and it was just a whole rib. It was times like that where it was just the best. It was fun. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? The man's standing right here, and John Gaborik is like, ha, 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 ha. That's why he would laugh in my ear. It was so funny, man. I had some good times on commentary.
I believe it. And I could see Abyss just like standing right in front of you eventually, just eye to eye. Like, don't look at him. Like, what am I supposed to do? He's in my face. Yeah.
It was crazy. He's going to do this. Just wait for it. And the whole time it turned out to be a big rib. It was like great, though. It was funny.
Yeah. Would you say that was the funniest rib that ever happened to you, or was there something else?
The funniest rib wasn't a rib. It's funny because I worked it. I had got a cut on my forearm. I had a real severe cut where I had to be rushed to the hospital and, given all the shots and stuff. And they tried to stop. I mean, the blood was a blood seed. It was bad. And it took me out of action for obviously a couple of weeks. WWE flew me back in. They wanted to check on me, see how I was doing. Johnny Ace, hey kid, how you doing? How's the arm? It's like, everything's good. Let me look at it. Show him. Yeah, it's going to keep you down for a couple of weeks. But great, they got you fixed. So I'm walking out of talent relations office, and I'm heading back to the locker room in my dress, got my shirt, my tie, and all that stuff on. I come up upon Undertaker and Kane. And Undertaker is like, hey, kid. I heard about your injury. What did the doctors say? And they said I should be out for, next week or so, but I should be good to go. The stitches will be out in about 2 weeks or so. Yeah, let me take a look at it. And so everything's like, yeah, let me look at it. And so I open it up and I can already kind of, because again, my officer days, my peripheral is ridiculous. I can look down and still see you over there, right? And he's kind of getting nudged the cane in. And I open it up and show him. He goes, ooh. And Kane goes, oh, man. And the Undertaker goes, oh, boy. And I said, oh, boy. He said, oh, boy. I said, oh, boy. He said, did you talk to the doctor? Did you show the doctor that? I said, yeah, I just came from the doctor. He said, brother, I'm telling you, that thing there is look like it's infected and probably is going to poison you. And you better get your butt back down there. Like, what? And so I just take off running down the hall, and I could hear them laughing, but it's Taker. I got to put it over.
Yeah. I
got to put it over. So that's one of the funniest ones for me. So I take off running, and I just kind of go into the room, and they're like, hey, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just thought I forgot something. And then came back walking out, and they're down the hall walking towards me. Got you, kid. You got you, kid. Like, man, Taker, yeah, I'd be thinking my arm was going to fall off. So that's what you do. Sometimes you gotta appease elder statesman, something, and it makes you a part of it. And he comes up and gives me I was just messing with you, kid. That's called the real. Good one, what? Like, yeah, it was good. And it's like, yeah, I kind of knew all along though, but I'm just playing on. So
sometimes you just gotta play along, man.
Wrestle Magic.
But it's been an honor to have you on the show, and as always,
always an honor.
I'm glad that you agree. But so, as we always do at the end of Wrestle Magic, I'd like to ask if you have any recommendation for the audience this week. That being a movie, TV show, video game, song, cactus breeds. I don't know, just something that you really like that you think people should try.
Movie in home. Or is it just called home? Is it called home or is it called in home? Now, the crazy part is I just walked past that. What's the guy named Pete Davidson? Pete Davidson. Now, you don't know him as this brilliant, I don't think anybody knows him as a brilliant actor or anything like that. But the movie is called The Home. He may not be Brad Pitt. He may not be Christian Slater, Kevin Bacon. I don't know who all the new ones are. What's that guy from Twilight? Yeah, he may not be any of those guys. But I want to tell you something. If you go watch the movie called The Home, I gave it a chance. That movie never even appeared in a theater, obviously. It's a quote-unquote B movie. It belonged in the theater. That movie is good. And Pete was cast, Pete Davidson was cast in the right role. And I'm telling you, if you watch the movie Home, you'll be pleasantly surprised. I did. I was enthralled by the story. I never picked up my phone. It was a good movie. It's a really good movie. That's all I can tell you. It's suspenseful. It's drama, and towards the end you deal with a little gore. But it is, and maybe because the expectations were so low that it just knocked it out of the ballpark. I loved it. I knew nothing about the movie. I didn't know where the movie was going. So if forced me to follow, and I'm telling you, they hit a home run with that movie.
Okay, so I definitely got to give it a watch.
That's Pope's recommendation, The Home, and hopefully somebody, and you included, Mav, could watch it and come back and tell me at some other time, you know what, I did, man, I followed it, and give me your thoughts on it, whether you liked it or you didn't.
Hey, man, I'm all for it. Maybe sometime we could do a movie review or something on it at some point. That'd be cool.
Yeah, why not? Why not? We talk everything else. I don't see why we can't do that, bro.
Definitely. But all right, so my recommendation for this week is going to be kind of an old song, and I know you're probably going to appreciate hearing this one, but "Lean on Me," just by Bill Withers. Just
All
that old
right.
song, because it hit a little bit earlier hearing it, and I promised you that I would tell you the story about why I always say, do something nice for somebody out there. You never know who needs it. And this story goes back to 7 years ago. I'm sorry, y'all might get a little misty-eyed here. It's a little deep for me. Now, I remember I showed up to England right out of my training and everything. I didn't have any friends here. I just showed up. And I remember coming to work every day, just going home. And then eventually at a certain point, I start getting told little things are going on back home. Hey, Mav, Gramps in the hospital. Hey, your dad's going to hospital to get checked for stomach cancer. Things like that. Starts slowly build on me. I don't really have anybody at this point. I'm just going to work, coming home, trying to get through every day. And I'm just doing what I can. Now, eventually this does build up and people start to see it. I'm not sure how many people really saw and understood, but nobody really knew. Just because I didn't really talk to anybody at that point about it. But I remember one day I'm at roll call and God, I remember I'm there, I'm looking kind of crap in my uniform, but I'm just there, just trying to get through every day sort of thing. And I remember somebody who I guess would be considered like an operations manager is up at the front and he's going through the listing. He's asking, all right, this person here, yep, Maverick. Hey, Maverick, I want you to stay behind after roll call, and I'm going to need 2 supervisors here as well. You're not in trouble, I promise you, though. But yeah, give me 2 supervisors here, please. And afterwards, everybody leaves. I stay behind, and he immediately pulls the supervisors in. He starts ripping into them. Like, I didn't really expect it as much. But he immediately starts asking them, all right, what's wrong with him right now? Both of you. Tell me. And immediately they start like, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong. And he's like, okay, so you can see it now. Why didn't you see it earlier? Why did it have to get to my level before anybody paid attention? Are you not paying attention to your subordinates here? What is wrong? What is the problem? Does anybody know? Does anybody talk to him? Does anybody ask him what's going on? And he's like, Maverick, I know it's a little embarrassing for you. It's not anything against you, I promise. This is trying to help you. I remember at the time, I'm like, just in my own head, like, I don't know what to do. I finally explained to him the situation that's going on. He listens to me and he starts asking questions, do you have any friends out here? Is there any family back home? And I'm like, no, not really that I'm talking to. It's kind of a rough situation. I just got here. I don't have anybody. He says, all right, I understand, but let's try to work on that a little bit. Brings me upstairs. We talk to somebody who'd be like a kind of an HR rep. Start talking about things, start getting through things, and it really helped me out after a while. And Hunter really became a friend after a while. Because of him, I started making other friends outside of my work, and it really helped me to meet guys like one of my best friends out here, Cody. Cody was probably my biggest support out here. Miss seeing him around. He was always a good guy. And I remember it got to the point where we became so close that I was coming over his house just for dinner all the time, just because he was just that guy. And him and his now wife, they were always inviting me over, like, hey, get over here for dinner. Want you to watch this movie with us or whatever. Just simple stuff like that. Listen to what was going on in my life and always helped me out. And I remember just everything that he did. I remember eventually he's like, I want to try playing D&D. We got a big group of people. We start making more friends into this circle and everything. And it starts to help me out little bit by little bit. And I finally start to become something in my work a little bit. Get to meet a couple friends of mine in that D&D group. One of them was named Chance. One of them was named Rachel. Chance worked with me. Rachel was in a different department. But either way, we all got along really well. And I remember eventually Hunter was leaving. But I, at that point, was just doing so much better. It didn't matter. It was like, that's my friend at this point. As high up as he is, and usually higher ups don't really hang out with the lower guys like me at that point. But he was kind enough to actually invite me to his going away party when it was not really normal for people at my level to be hanging out with them. And I was there with him and everybody else that was at that level, just out at the club, just hanging out and doing whatever before he was getting ready to leave. And I remember just everything that he kind of did for me stuck in my head. I remember one day, got a promotion. I was happy. It was training day. Not too much going on. And I see Chance. He's sitting there just back to a doorway where the office is. Everybody's kind of inside laughing and joking, having a good time. He's just sitting there. He's just got a laptop in his arms and he's just holding on. He's not looking good. And I remember I just started watching him for a little bit and thinking like somebody's got to jump in. What's going on here? I remember Cody eventually walks by him and he asks him like, "Hey man, you good?" And he just, "Yeah, I'm good." And he's like, "Okay, man, like I'm here if you need anything." Walks back into the office. I'm like, "Okay. All right, at least somebody's paying attention." Cody's not a supervisor yet, neither am I, but I'm just watching. And then eventually other people are walking in and out and nobody's paying him any mind. I'm starting to get a little bit more annoyed in my head. Walk over to him like, "Chance, what's going on, man? You don't look yourself. What's going on?" He's, "None, man, I'm good." And no, this isn't right. I turn around to try to get our lead's attention. Immediately, this dude pulls out his phone and turns around like he didn't see me. And I understand he probably didn't. But still to this day, it's like, that still makes me mad. So I'm like, here I am trying to get your attention, but here we go. So I remember I stepped inside that office and I immediately said, same thing that Hunter said. "I need 2 supervisors out here right now. Something's not right." They step out and they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Look at this dude. What's wrong with him? He's sitting here and now he's crying." And it's like, and you guys couldn't notice this? You're all sitting in here laughing and joking. I get it. It's a good day. Come on. What's going on here? What has anybody asked him? Has anybody talked to him? Eventually, lead comes back and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Now you're here. Thanks." But anyways, they eventually get him upstairs to a same HR sort of rep thing. Turns out his little brother had died about 3 months earlier. He was just going through it. That day was just going through his head and he's remembering. It was really bothering him. But I remember later on, the lead comes back to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I know it was a little unprofessional what you did there, but I appreciate what you did." And it's still weird for me remembering back to it because, God, I remember I'm like yelling at these guys and I don't feel like myself at this point. I kind of feel like Hunter's over top of me yelling at them through me at some point, which he's like 6'5" or something. He's a tall dude. So it just kind of felt right. And he was always kind of like a dad anyways. But I remember eventually he came over to me, Chance did, and he's like, "Hey man, thanks for having my back there. It was just not a good time." And I remember just thinking like, I'm just glad that I did because I don't know what would have happened. But anyways, next situation was a couple years later. I go over to a new department myself, and I remember I'm getting ready to fall asleep. It's like 10:30, 11 at night, something like that. And all of a sudden I get a notification. I don't usually get notifications that late. And I'm like, something's up. So I immediately pick it up, and it's Rachel. And she's saying, "Hey, I'm really not doing well right now. I need somebody over here." I'm like, "Sure, let me put my pants on." Immediately put something on, get over there. I don't know her address, so she had to send me that. And I head over. And I remember I go to the backyard where she's at, and she's got a bonfire going. Her dog's running around crazy, just having a good time, doesn't really understand. And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on, Rachel?" And she's like, "Yeah, it was a good day for me until a couple hours ago." I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" And she said, "Well, today was the day that somebody who Sierra Alpha'd me, you guys can put those 2 letters together and figure out what I mean, was put into a cop car, taken to prison after things that he had did for me were proven guilty." And I remember just look on her face was kind of dropping. She said, I invited all my work friends to come and celebrate with me. It's finally over, and none of them showed up. I'm just here alone. And I remember just thinking like, okay, that's kind of sucky, but hey, what can we do tonight? Let's just make tonight a little better. And she's like, "Well, I got Guitar Hero. I've never played it in my life. Let's go." And I get in there. I suck at it. I'm terrible at Guitar Hero. I can't play. But I was there till about 3 or 4 in the morning. I still had work the next day. And I remember I'm thinking like, all right, this is going to suck. I don't care. I remember I go to bed. I wake up like 2 hours later. And then I go to work. I'm like in and out of it, because I'm like, oh God, the 2 hours, just everything feels fuzzy. And I remember eventually my boss there kind of looks at me funny and he's like, "Hey, Mav, what's going on, man?" And I'm like, "I didn't get much sleep last night, sir." And he's like, "Why? What's going on? You stay up playing video games or something?" I'm like, "Not exactly, sir." And I explained the situation to him. He said, "Okay, I understand. Give me a minute." He goes into his boss's office, comes out like 5 minutes later. He's like, "Hey, man, once 1 o'clock hits, go home. I don't need you past that point. You did something that you really needed to last night. Take care of yourself too. I understand and I appreciate what you did." I was really appreciative of him that day as well. Spencer, really appreciated that dude. But I remember whenever I say do something nice for somebody, you never know who needs it. Because I'm glad that they reached out or at least showed enough signs for me to be able to step up and say, hey, what's going on? What do you need? How can we help you right now, man? And you never know who needs it out there, guys. So please step up for somebody, but also step up for yourselves. You're the only one who will really know when you need help. Sometimes you just got to speak up a little bit more. And with that, Mr. Pope, do you have any final messages for the audience?
No, man, that was a beautiful story, beautiful way to sum up and share your experiences, to encourage others to do just what you just said. You never know who could use you stepping up and, for whatever the reason may be. So that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That was very beautiful. And I appreciate you making yourself vulnerable here to share those, those moments of past time. So I thank you for having me here. I thank you for you being you. And everybody obviously was very clear in it. All of us need somebody to talk to at some point at some time. And so just keep that at the forefront of your mind. And all of us need an outlet. And if you don't have an outlet or you just want a place where you can escape your everyday, be sure to tune in to Post Point of View at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Always, every Saturday, I got a big sit-down interview coming. Huge sit-down interview that's coming, and that's going to drop next week on YouTube, Pope TV for You. That's the number 4 and the letter U, and the special guest that I'll be sitting down doing a one-on-one interview with will be none other than the former Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark. So trust me, you're not going to want to miss what he has to say or the questions that I'm going to ask.
Sounds awesome, man. And with that,
with Elijah Burke, Post Point of View podcast with Elijah Burke. I'm just trying to buy my guy Mav a little bit more time because he's still a little touched over there. But I want to also make sure that before we get off of here and we get ready to go our own separate ways, that you see what I'm seeing now. That's a big smile over there on the face of our friend who is not sadly, if you will, shedding tears, but shedding tears from a reflective and rejoicing manner of being obedient to the call. All right. And that's just stepping up. When others won't do it, you be the one to bring the change. So I like to tell people on my podcast, always look to be the change that you wish to see in the world by positively influencing many people. And if you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you. You got it, my friend.
I like that. I really like that. And I still get calls to this day every once in a great while, but I'm always going to answer for whoever needs it. And with that, in the words of my buddy Memphis Mark, we're out.
Wrestle Magic.